welcome back. On today's show, patience is a virtue. We've been discussing the importance of patience.
Joining us in the studio is anthropologist, explorer, TV presenter and public speaker Sarah Begum. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you for having me.
Sarah, so being a journalist, I assume that you have to do a lot of waiting to get the right story and, to get it right. So tell us, how do you go about having so much patience to get the story that you want?
Well, I mean, it does take a long time. You have to do a lot of research. And in that time, to get the right story, you have to wait for the right moment. It's all about timing as much as it is about luck. So, for example, if I'm going undercover or something, I need to be really, really careful. And patience plays a big part of that, because if I do something wrong, if I'm at the wrong moment, at the wrong place, with the wrong person, I could be in danger. So mostly, I have to make sure that I'm safe. And I could wait ages for the perfect story just to make sure that I'm going to be safe in that situation.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went to the Amazon rainforest and you was with the Warani tribe. You immersed yourself in living with them. Tell me, I just really would love to know how that was.
Thank you. Well, I loved how you pronounce Warani. You actually got it right. Well, it was life-changing. It was beautiful because I experienced life in a pristine environment. Their culture is literally about survival. So it's surviving in the jungle, it's hunting, gathering, everything's so simple. And their culture is very sort of, if you don't survive, if you don't hunt, then you're not going to eat. If you don't do the work yourself, then there is nothing that you can gain from it. So you have to put in the work and the effort to literally just survive. There's no currency there. There's no supermarket, Tesco, Sainsbury's. There's a jungle and you have to hunt for the food.
What jungle are they in?
They're in the Amazon rainforest of Ecuador, so Yasuni National Park.
Did you feel safe? Did they make you feel safe around them? I mean, from going from, the shower in your bathroom to having to hold a spear and hunt, for your food. Did you feel safe in the environment?
The tribe was they were so welcoming. They were very interested in me as much as I was interested in them, because being a young female explorer from a different culture, they're not used to that. They were very shocked and curious to see me. I was almost like an artifact in a museum to them. They just wanted to touch me and examine me as much as I was there to study them. So it was really interesting to exchange information, and communicating with them was quite interesting because there was a language barrier, but communicating with them, it was all through eye contact and body language. So we understood and was able to sort of transfer information through literally looking at something and pointing and saying a word in their language, which is Walterero. For example, there was a chicken walking by the village, and I pointed at it and I said to the warrior, I said, "That's a chicken." In English, that's chicken. And the warrior said, Walterero, that's the name of their language. Walterero, terawia. So we were learning each other's languages, and it took some time actually for me to get to that stage where they finally felt comfortable to really open up and teach me more about their culture. And I was really lucky. I'm really happy, to have that experience.
Okay, I just want to ask you a question. Now, you've been filming in Caracas in Venezuela. How was that?
Oh, that was crazy. that city, it's the murder capital of the world. It's one of the most dangerous cities in the world. I had to queue like 4 hours just for shampoo.
No.
That is patience.
So you didn't feel safe because it was the murder capital of the city, and you had to learn of the world, and you had to learn patience.
No, but the patience is beyond anything that I've ever experienced. So it tested my limits. So there was no toilet paper the first day. There's no shampoo. There's a high crime rate, highest inflation in the world. I ended up in the slums by accident once, and I'll save the rest for my book.
Amazing.
God. Everyone with so many questions. Ask your questions.
Why did you go there? What made you do that?
I was working out there as a TV presenter for an English news channel based out there,
Okay.
covering international current affairs. So that's.
So why did they make you stay there? Didn't have toilet paper? Oh, goodness.
No, they had.
They had. I'm sure they had.
You had toilet paper, but I mean, there's a huge shortage of basic goods there.
Yeah.
So when the products become available, you have to queue for hours to get them, and some of the products are reserved. So you would ask around, or corporate companies would have a huge stock. So I was okay with them, but when I went back home, I had 3 rolls left, and I had to figure out when I could find the next 5.
I really think that show, because you're coming from a different side of the world, going there, it really did test your patience. It taught you a lot on how to really be patient, because obviously it's clearly different from what you're normally used to.
More than patience, but to value. I couldn't imagine life without a toilet roll.
But you wouldn't even think that. I didn't even think that's something that I had to worry about.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought in Caracas. I mean, in the jungle, yes, but not Caracas. I thought they would have the basics.
Well, you have to find out the rest of my book.
Oh, it's very exciting, this book.
I'd like to.
Have you finished it?
No, not finished it yet.
Oh, great. Can't wait to hear about that.
Well, you may know that our program, is here more to empower women. And you have been traveling, getting to know a lot of cultures and so on. So why do you feel that women in some cultures are oppressed? Or have you seen this somewhere?
To be honest, I believe that we're all individuals who write our own stories, and our stories are shaped by our decisions and our actions. So you can make anything happen if you want to, if you truly believe in it. You just have to have the vision and then go out and act on it. And that a lot of cultures are quite open. They allow women to have that opportunity. There are very few cultures that do. There are very few cultures where women do feel oppressed. But for them, if they still have that vision, then their mission is to overcome those barriers, those hurdles, to actually get there.
Have you been in an experience where you try to approach women and get to know what they do and so on, and they were a bit resistant or anything like that?
No, I mean, as a woman, you would probably agree with this. Women open up to other women. We have that superpower, I guess, this connection,
Indeed.
this sort of telepathy. We have empathy for one another because we go through so much. So we have that. So opening up to women opening up to me in other cultures, I found it quite simple. But it's just understanding her story, her way of life, being in her shoes, that's when I can truly appreciate what she has to go through and what her story is and where she wants to be, but what that entails to get there, and I feel like even if she's oppressed, even if she doesn't have the opportunity, then she will have other struggles and she would need to overcome those barriers. Some women it's really sad because some women just won't have the opportunity. They won't even be able to think of the journey. But then the impossible can happen. And these stories aren't written about. They need to be highlighted because only when they're written about, then we learn about them. And they're inspiration, and they inspire the rest of women in the world.
Sarah, I mean, your story is really amazing. Your experiences, and the way we find it amazing. I'm sure there are women out there are, also watching this show and thinking, "Wow, I want to pursue a career being an explorer." What advice would you give to women who would also want to pursue such a career?
I think just go out and do it. Go out and explore the world. It's a beautiful big place with lots of stories, lots of great things to see and do. But I think if you want to be an explorer and add credibility to your title and your role in the world, then I think do something worthwhile. You know, there can be scientific explorations, or it could be a humanitarian mission, or it could even be an endurance test for yourself. You know, many people have climbed the Everest and gone beyond and to see how far they can go. And especially being a woman, we need more of these women in the world. We need more female explorers. And yeah, I just say go out and do it, make it happen.
Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. Well, I think everyone could see by our reactions. We were like, no, I've got a question. Nice. I also need to know that. Well, thank you so much for your coming here and sharing this wonderful experience with us. Thank you.
It was amazing. We loved having you.
Really enjoyed it.
Well, now we are going to take a short break, but don't go away as there will be more discussion on patience is a virtue after the break.